Okay, so we need a way to move around our virtual world. There's lots of different ways you can do that in virtual reality, but the one that's the most commonest one is called teleporting. What that means is when you press on the motion controller, you'll be teleported to a new location. But for the game engine to understand where you can teleport to, we need to add a navmesh bounds volume, which then calculates where the avatar can stand. Okay. So to illustrate this, I'm going to add a couple more obstacles. So I'm just going to throw in a sphere. And again, this is one of the brush models, and I can tessellate this. Okay, and I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. And I'm going to position that on the world. Just move it to here. And I'm going to add some stairs. And just position those. And of course you can click on the rotate button just to rotate them. I'll just move them into position. Just a quick thing about axis points. You can see that the axis point is in line with the world axis. If you click on this icon, that will align it to its local axis, and obviously I can move it along its local axis. That's another thing you can think of. Okay, so now we've got effectively 3 things in the world. Now to add a nav mesh, go to volumes, scroll down and you'll see nav mesh bounds volume. Drag that into your world. Click on the scale and then scale the nav mesh bounds so it occupies the environment that you want to explore. Okay. As you can see, it's created this green mesh, and that determines where the virtual reality avatar can explore in this environment. You can even see it's created it on top of the sphere, and we can leave it like that. Okay. Later on I'll show you how to tweak the nav mesh bounds, and if you look on the right hand side you'll see recast nav mesh defaults. Inside there you can change some of the sizes of the avatar, but we'll do that on another session. Okay, so let's test this now. So I'll click on play. I'll put the headset on. And I'll just take one of the other hands. Now I'm standing up at the moment. I'm using one of the controllers, but the teleporting feature works with both hands. As you can see, we've got the objects. I'm looking around, and when I click down on the thumbstick, to the top of the thumbstick, press down on it, you get an arc projecting from the hand, and where the sphere ends, that's where you're going to be teleported to. And if I move it round, it can detect the nav mesh bounds mesh, so I can go to those locations. So let's say I want to stand on top of the sphere. So you can see it's detected it, and then I release the thumbstick, and if you look down, I'm now on top of the sphere, and I can do the same thing again. If I press, you can see the arc projecting to see where I can go, and then I can release, and then I'm back down on the ground. Obviously I can physically move around the world as well, but it's a safe way just to teleport. And it also stops motion sickness, because if you think about it, the movement around a VR world can confuse your brain, and that can create motion sickness, because obviously your body's not moving but your brain thinks you are. It's a bit like when you're in a car and you're not physically moving but the car's moving, and you can see the world outside moving, so that can make people car sick. It's the same type of thing that's happening. So if we do one more time, teleport. Okay, that's about teleporting. Now you also notice as well that there's a arrow at the end. I'll show you later on how to control that, and that will control the direction in which the person is facing when we teleport, to give you more control. Okay, so one last thing is you can see in the 3D view, we've got this green area. You can press P on the keyboard to hide it, and press key on the keyboard to make it visible again. Okay, the other way to do that is to go to Show, and then if you scroll down the different icons, you'll see Navigation, and you can just deselect the navigation, and that will do the same thing. But the most important thing to remember is, to be able to teleport around your world, you need to make sure that you've got a navmesh bounds volume in your world, and it's also covering the area that you want to move around inside.